Hi campers, I hope you're all well. It is time for another round of Final Book support group, and this time I am stoked. I am so excited because we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. Now, y'all always ask me for some prompts and I always struggle. I end up recycling prompts, etc., because the whole point of it is to focus these readathons on your final books. By all means, start new series, continue series, etc., but the whole point is to like properly focus during the readathons, to properly focus on those final books. So I always struggle with prompts because I'm just like, final book, but we've nailed it this time. We've absolutely nailed it, guys. We've nailed it. With the help of Jade, I say with the help of Jade, this has literally been her entire brainchild. We've come up with such an awesome idea. We had a really nice session last night where we just came up with this really sick idea. I was just going to do a week long for March, and we already had an idea for that. And then I said to her, do you think that these are enough prompts for a month long? And she was like, absolutely not. And I was like, damn. So we've rearranged everything and we've come up with this incredible idea. So to start off with, if you don't know what the Final Book support group is, this is basically a support group that has been brought together. This is not my brainchild at all. It's been brought together by the community. I was complaining one day about the fact that I struggle to get to final books and series. For some reason, I just hesitate picking them up. I don't know whether it's because I'm nervous about finishing the series or I just don't want to get to the end of the series. Sometimes I get stuck in continuation station, which is partway through the series, and I'm just an absolute nightmare for starting series and not finishing them. And somebody said, oh, you should do a readathon for it. So the Final Book support group was born. We support you in all sense of the word for reading, essentially. We have a Discord group, there is a Twitter, there is an Instagram, and then every other month I will host a readathon. This could be anything from a 24-hour readathon right through to a month-long readathon. We've done 48 hours, we've done a week long, I think we might have done 2 weeks long. I don't know if we've done a month long yet, and I'm really hyped. I thought about it in November, but didn't end up doing it, but did say that if anybody wanted to make it a month long, feel free to do so, as we were coming towards the end of the year. But I'm hyped. I'm so excited. So, month-long readathon. Oh, by the way, all of those links will be in the description box down below. Month-long readathon in the month of March. So, the whole month of March, focus on final books, focus on continuation stations, just focus on those series as much as you possibly can or as much as you possibly want to. We will be doing this in such a way that you are going to camp. When you get to camp, there are the little houses that you stay in when you go to camp. Think Lumberjanes if you've ever read it. So your camp cabins are, you pick your camp cabin based off of the prompts I'm about to give you now, and there are going to be little things that I'm going to make as well to show you exactly what the prompts are for each cabin. So we have 4 cabins, there are 6 prompts per cabin. The prompts are very similar, and you can choose whichever cabin you want to. There aren't going to be any like camp leaders or anything like that. There's nobody like running the houses or anything like that. You can just pick whichever house you want to stay in, and that's entirely up to you. There is no vetting process, essentially. The only vetting process is that you have to finish a final book. Just one. If that's the only thing you do all month, just finish one final book. It's the only vetting process. So let me shuffle over so that I can put my little pictures on here as we're going through the prompts. I do have my phone on me because I write everything on my phone these days, so that I've got it with me at all times. So the first cabin is going to be the Bear's Claw. I'm so excited about this. Honest to God, I cannot wait. The Bear's Claw. And the first prompt for this cabin is read a final book. This prompt is through all this for each of the cabins. It's the first prompt for each of the cabins. The prompts, like I say, are quite similar, so they will follow a general routine, if you like. So the first prompt is to read a final book for the Bear's Claw. The second prompt is to use a colour wheel. So find a colour wheel on Google and spin the wheel and pick a book that has that colour on the cover. It doesn't have to be the whole cover. It can be like a very small element within the cover that has that colour. If the colour doesn't suit you because you don't have a final book, or you know, it just doesn't work with your plans that you aimed to have for this readathon, then feel free to spin again. There are no rules here. Absolutely none at all. Not a single rule to be followed. None. Not one. Prompt number 3 is to read a book with a light cover. So any light colour in general, white, yellow, orange, pink, just a light cover in general. Prompt number 4 is a big book. To me, I think that this is 500 plus pages, but if you generally read very short books as a general rule, and like 300 or 400 plus pages is a big book to you, that's absolutely fine. Again, no rules, but to me, 500 plus pages is a big book. And then we get into some fun prompts. Hiking trail, go for a walk. Some self-care, go outside, go for a walk. You don't have to go hiking by any means. I just called it hiking trail because it sounds fun and we love it. So go out for a walk. It can be a 5-minute walk, it can be an hour-long walk. Just go outside, get some fresh air, get some sunshine, and go for a walk. And finally, poke into the bear's cave, something dark and dangerous. Now, again, no rules with this. However you want to interpret this, it's entirely down to you. You can interpret it as far as genre is concerned, so like a thriller, a mystery, a horror. You can interpret it as far as colour on the cover is concerned, a dark cover, something that looks a bit dangerous, it's got a knife on it, or it has blood on it, or something similar to that. You can interpret this any way you want. It can have the word dark on the cover, it can have the word dangerous on the cover, it can, whatever you want, however you want to interpret that, that's entirely up to you, but something dark and dangerous, poke into the bear's cave. So those are your 6 prompts for the bear's claw. We then have the wolf's tooth. So again, the first prompt is to read a final book. The second prompt is a random number generator. So very similar to the random colour wheel, we go on Google, you pick a random number generator and pick a selection of books, put in the number generator like between 1 and 5 books maybe, and then read the book, whichever number that comes out. So feel free to interpret this and do it however you want. If you have, you know, 50 final books on your TBR, I feel sorry for you, but also if you want to do it with all 50, that's fine. If you just want to make a selection of 3 or 5 or 10, whatever you want, make it work for yourself. Prompt number 3 is a book with a dark cover. So we had a light cover for the bear's claw, we've got a dark cover for the wolf's tooth. So, you know, blacks, very dark blues, dark greys, purples, whatever's a dark cover to you. Prompt number 4 is a small book, so a book under 300 pages. So we've got plus 500 pages, under 300 pages. So a small book for the wolf's tooth. Prompt number 5 is, it just says s'mores. So if you know how to make s'mores and you like s'mores, feel free to make s'mores. But if you don't know how to make s'mores or you don't like them, feel free to just pick any other treat. Just treat yourself to something sweet. Because when you go camping, that's what you do. You take stuff to make s'mores, or you take stuff to, you know, sweet treats and stuff. So just treat yourself to something nice and sweet. And then finally, visit the depths of the forest, something wild and adventurous. Again, open to interpretation. This could be genre, it could be a smutty romance. It could be, because that's adventurous to me and wild, it could be a survival type genre. It could be something with the word adventurous or wild in it. It could be a cover that's wild and adventurous. Again, entirely open to interpretation. However you interpret something wild and adventurous, it works. Entirely open to interpretation. Okay, sorry if the camera angle's changed. I just entirely forgot my nail appointment and had to nip out real quick. Time blindness is real, guys. Okay, cabin number 3 is the stag's antler. I love this readathon so much. Obviously, the first prompt is to finish a final book. The second prompt is to use a random emoji generator, very similar to the colour wheel and the number generator. This will come up with a random emoji for you and match a book to it. Again, if the emoji doesn't work for you, just do it again. It's totally fine. There are no rules here, no policing. It's totally fine. Prompt number 3 is for an illustrated cover, so any cover that is illustrated completely works for this one. Prompt number 4 is to read a hardback book, so any hardback works. Prompt number 5 is to have a hot chocolate. When you go to camp, you drink hot chocolate. If you don't drink hot chocolate, I rarely drink hot chocolate. Any hot drink will do. Tea, coffee, fruit tea, green tea, anything you want. Any hot drink will do, so feel free to change that to your will. And then prompt number 6 is to visit the lake, something calm and majestic. Again, bend this to your will. It can work for anything you think it works for. For me, I would probably choose this as like a self-care read, so something that I find is calm and relaxing, maybe like a romance or something. Again, majestic depends on what the word means to you. To me, majestic means something magical and fantastical. Jade also gave examples of royalty, for example. So bend this to your will. Genre, something calm and majestic on the cover, whatever it is that works for you, whatever, it doesn't matter. So long as you think it works, that's all that matters. And then the fourth and final cabin is the BUZZARD'S BEAK. So obviously the first prompt is final book, as it has been with the rest of the cabins. The second prompt is a random letter generator, so very similar to the other 3 cabins, just a random letter generator. If you don't want it to be the first letter in the title, it just needs to appear in the title, that's absolutely fine. Whatever works for you, no bother. Prompt number 3 is a typography cover, so this is something that's no illustrations on it, just text only. Something very, very simple and very, very plain, a typography cover. Prompt number 4 is a paperback book. Prompt number 5 is arts and crafts. So we've just got this down as arts and crafts, but if you have a side hobby other than reading that you do, for example, diamond painting or journaling or something similar to that, that's absolutely fine. That totally works. If your hobby is playing your Nintendo Switch and you play Stardew Valley or whatever the hell it's called, or Animal Crossing, that also works as well. Just a side hobby that you have. Set some time to do a hobby that you love. And prompt number 6 is go to the lookout, something beautiful and alluring. So again, this can totally work for however you want it to work. There are no rules. So those are your 4 cabins. Those are your 6 prompts per cabin. Feel free to pick whichever cabin you want. There are no rules. If you have questions, I mean, that's fine, but in general, if you think that it works for the prompt, it works. There are no rules, there's no policing, there's no need to ask me if such and such a thing works for this prompt or such and such a thing works for that prompt. There are absolutely no rules. If you think it works, it works. Don't worry about it. If you want to ask in the Discord and other people can answer for you, that's absolutely fine. But obviously I am quite a busy person. So if you, in general, if you think it works, it works. Very much a similar vibe as Readathon. Just, you know, do whatever you want. There's just the prompts there to help guide some people that I know would prefer to have prompts, and I just thought it would be a bit more fun to make it into such a way that it is kind of like actually going to camp. So you have a cabin that you're staying in and these are your prompts. So I hope you're as excited as I am. As you can tell, you can get merch as well for Final Book Support Group. On Daisy and B website, which I'll leave a link to in the description box down below, you can get the Final Book Support Group starter pack, which includes 3 bookmarks, a sticker and a loyalty card. You can buy the loyalty cards and the bookmarks separately if you want to as well from Daisy and B. We also have actual Final Book Support Group merch as well on Redbubble. Again, I'll leave a link to the description box down below. Please do use the link in the description box down below, or over on Discord, or in our Instagram and Twitter bio, because we do on occasion have people that steal our designs. So if you go on to Redbubble and search for Final Book Support Group, it might not be us that are selling it, so please do use our links. But you can get this design on sweaters, hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, mouse mats, drinks containers, mugs, stickers. You can get all sorts. We've got loads on there, so do go check it out if you want to get some merch. Feel free to do that. And I think that's everything you need to know. The whole month of March, 4 cabins to choose from with 6 prompts each. Merch in the description box down below. Do whatever you want. Bend the prompts to your will wherever you feel necessary doing so. They are just there as a guide for people that would prefer prompts over just willy-nilly picking up final books and still needing some direction, which I entirely understand. So that's what they're there for. So yeah, I hope you are excited. Chat to me in the comments down below. Let me know if you've already decided what cabin you're going to go in. I am thinking of going in the Bear's Claw, but I've not decided yet. I will decide when I come to do my TBR in March. But yeah, chat to me in the comments down below. Are you excited? Do you like this style? Chat to me. I am hyped. I am so excited. Thank you to Jade for coming up with this brainchild and helping me out with this. I really do appreciate it. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.